Just about 20 minutes from now kicks off the next step following one of the most problematic moments in Iowa caucus history. We're talking about 2 years ago. Iowa Democratic Party Chair Troy Price resigned after a series of bungles on caucus night that delayed results of which presidential candidate actually won for the Democrats. Those mistakes 2 years ago have led to a 5 o'clock meeting. Tonight, top party insiders with the National Committee are going to meet, decide on the future of the Iowa caucuses at stake here. Political Director Dave Price joins us. Of course he does, if we're talking about something like this. What do you want to talk about first, Dave? The reason they had to have this meeting?
Seems like a good place to start here, and that's really at the crux of this now. We've both been here for a while, so you know every 4 years or so, Iowa kind of goes through this about will we stay first, will we not stay first. This time around, though, this would be the most serious challenge to this. Now, if you don't care anything about politics, you might be thinking, who really cares? I don't want all these people coming to town. It brings in tens of millions of dollars every cycle, so it's a huge economic factor for the state. And it also gives Iowans a chance to get up in front of these people running for president, quiz them, get their ideas, hopefully maybe plant a seed in their mind about improving things moving on. But there were a series of problems last time around in 2020. The Democratic National Committee insisted that Democrats use this phone app. The whole concept was that at each precinct site, you could put in the results of that into this phone app and there'd be really quick results just like that, except for the phone app didn't work. People weren't trained enough. And then on caucus night, when all these things were going south, instead of going out there communicating with everybody about, hey, hold on, we got some problems here, we're going to get through it, we're going to figure it out. Instead, they kind of bunkered down, and that just added to the fuel to the fire that this is all a mess. Caucuses are too complicated, and maybe Iowa shouldn't go first anymore.
To that point, Dave, the fact that DNC made them use that app. And now the DNC is coming in saying, you screwed up the app after we made you use that app. That's not fair.
That would be what some Iowa Democrats would say, including
Troy Price.
Any
reasonable person would say, right?
The app clearly did not work as it's supposed to work. And so now 2 years later, there's this meeting that'll start here in about 15 or 20 minutes or so. And what they're going to hear tonight is probably for a couple hours or so, alternatives to this about how Iowa is too white, how caucuses are too crazy, they're too complicated, use a primary, it's a lot simpler. And the other unfortunate factor for Iowa Democrats right now is, to a lot of people outside the state, Iowa does not look like a purple state anymore. It's not competitive. You know, it used to swing here, you vote for a Republican here, a Democrat here, it went back and forth. Right now it feels like a very hard Republican red state. And so as outsiders look in, they think, well, maybe in 2024 it's even going to get worse, or at least not get any better. So if it's not competitive, let's focus on another state. Maybe Nevada, somewhere else that could go before Iowa.
Local Democrats, we hear it every 4 years. Iowa's too white, Iowa's too rural. Now they're saying Iowa's too red. Are the local Democrats fighting against this? Are they essentially shouting into the wind at this point?
Well, they're not giving up. And one of the things they say would be history is on their side here. So yes, the state is very white. It's less white than what it once was. It's getting more diverse slowly here, particularly with the immigrant population coming in. But if you look at the last 3 Iowa caucus winners for Democrats, they will say they elected a gay man, a woman, and a black man.
Right. And more theoretically
diversity.
progressive states went for Joe Biden.
For
Bernie
sure.
Sanders. Yeah.
And Bernie Sanders very narrowly lost the last 2 caucuses. But you mentioned Joe Biden. The polls would show he's not very popular in this state. He was not competitive the last go around. He hasn't come back to this state since he's been president. Right. So what is he willing to do, if anything, behind the scenes to try to keep Iowa first here? Barack Obama's the one who had all the success in the past. Is he willing to stick his neck out and even get involved in this? But realistically, that's not really something you would expect a former president to do. So the cards are really stacked against Iowa here. The question, it seems like, will be, is there a deal to be had? Would Iowa be willing to share its caucuses with somebody else? Like, let's just throw this out. Let's say Iowa and Nevada get to go first, tied for first. The problem with that is that Nevada has switched back, was a primary, went to a caucus, now back to a primary. If they do a primary, then New Hampshire's going to say, oh, no, we have to have the first primary. So it's
a mess.
super complicated. And there are all kinds of moving parts.
But it's happening at 5 o'clock. You're going to be on that call, and you're going to tell us what comes
Well,
from
I'll be
it.
observing. They're probably not going to let me speak, but yeah.
You know what we mean. All right. Dave Price, political director, the guy we're looking to for the answers tonight, not to mention the guy we're looking to for the answers next.